Now, with the elections over, the ETF world is buzzing about how the Trump presidency will impact the ETF business. How are hopes for tax cuts, fewer regulations, and more tariffs impacting what ETFs investors will be buying in 2025? Let's talk with Matt Bartolini. He's head of America's ETF research at State Street Global Advisors, and of course, owner of the Spider ETF business. Also joining us, John Dobby, the founder and CEO of Astoria Portfolio Advisors, joining us here at the NYSE. Matt, I'll start with you. You are, I like to call you the master of ETF flows. Don't want to toot your horn too much, but you tell me you've seen some very big moves in the last few days. What specific industries are we seeing notable inflows?
I think first and foremost, the U.S. listed ETF industry took in $22 billion in the day after the election. That is a record amount for post-election flows, shattering the record from 2020, which was just around $5 billion. And on a month-to-date basis, ETFs are now at $60 billion of flows in just November alone, and are just under $900 billion for the year. Now, what we've seen investors buying in the last few days has been very U.S. equity focused, a lot into large caps. We have seen some flows into small caps, $5 billion on just the day after the election. But you also started to see some cyclical exposures too. You saw financials. Financials have $3 billion of inflows post-election. A lot of that's gone into regional banks and bank stocks that may be able to benefit under this new administration's policies around regulation, but also the potential for steeper yield curves.
John, I've talked to you, and you have sort of similar thoughts, but tell me, what are you seeing here? What are the biggest ETF beneficiaries of a red sweep?
Yeah, so I think going into elections, very few people anticipated a red sweep. Now that we have one, I think that's a catalyst for things beyond the S&P and like the NASDAQ QQQs to do better. So we're at Astoria Advisors, we're tilting away from market cap weight indices. We think equal weight, we think small caps, we think, cyclicals in general, industrials. If you think about the cocktail of lower taxes, lower interest rates, pro-growth policies, pro-domestic policies, that's a very different playbook the next 3-4 years compared to the last 4 years.
Yeah. I want to talk about whether we're actually going to get lower taxes and lower interest rates. Remains to be seen. We're acting like we are, though.